My name is Molly Yake. I am 17 and I identify as a lesbian. Gay adoption is no different than a heterosexual couple adopting a child. As long as you meet the legal requirements to adopt, then couples, regardless of their sexual orientation, are allowed to do so. The requirements are that you must be over 21 years old, you must complete an application, you must show proof of a marriage, and you must agree to complete a complete criminal background check. As long as you do so and complete those 4 steps and you pass, you're able to go through and complete your adoption process. LGBT rights have come a long way. Obergefell v. Hodges was a landmark Supreme Court case on June 26, 2015, in which the Supreme Court gave the fundamental right to all same-sex couples. In a 5-4 ruling, James Obergefell beat Richard Hodges, thus legalizing the right to marry no matter their sexual orientation. This requires all 50 states, including District of Columbia, to recognize and perform marriages for same-sex couples. All states must also issue marriage license on the same terms and conditions as they would to heterosexual couples. The legalization of gay marriage also meant that married gay couples were legally allowed to adopt children as well. 44th President Barack Obama called the decision of the Supreme Court a victory for America. The effects of this court case were monumental, resulting in thousands of homosexual couples getting married. Millions of people showed their support in favor of the court's decision. Hundreds of companies even temporarily changed their logos, displaying rainbows in showing their support. People showed their support as they took to social media and started public rallies and pride parades to celebrate. Moving forward in 2019, LGBTQ members hope that the term gay marriage just becomes known as a regular marriage. However, some people and organizations, usually religiously affiliated, push back against gay adoption and argue that it should not be allowed, and that a child having 2 same-sex parents may potentially be destructive to their well-being. Today, we are here to discuss why gay adoption is a good option. Adoption is a wonderful path for LGBTQ+ families to fulfill their destiny as parents or to grow their existing families. Gay parents tend to be more motivated, more committed than heterosexual parents on average because they have been through many more hardships than heterosexual couples, resulting in gay parents being very committed to their children and to their families. Due to past disapproval of the LGBTQ community, gay and lesbian couples feel as if they have more to prove and that they are good parents and maybe even better parents than heterosexual couples. Same-sex adoption statistics suggest that more and more gay couples are adopting. In fact, same-sex couples are 4 times more likely to be raising an adopted child, and they are 6 times more likely to be raising foster children than heterosexual couples. Today, 4% of adopted children and 3% of foster care children are raised by gay and lesbian parents, and 2 million more LGBT individuals are interested in adopting. There is a shortage of adoptive parents, a loving adoptive family. No matter their sexual orientation, gay or straight couples are better than the foster care system. Many gay couples form relationships that are more stable than many heterosexual marriages, thus giving adopted children a safe and secure home. Because gay parents have likely had to face difficulties and discrimination in their lives, they are usually able to better help their child when they have their own individual problems. Children raised in same-sex households may have a better ability to overcome huge obstacles, stand firm in the face of adversity, and make decisions based on emotions and love rather than firm facts. Although gay adoption is legal in all 50 states, there are still some faith-based adoption agencies such as in Tennessee, Michigan, Minnesota, and Texas, who make it their obligation to discriminate against LGBT couples who want to adopt children. As said in an interview with Ms. Trimble, the only way to combat this issue would be to bring awareness to the situation and work towards change and reform. Knowing that it isn't morally right and fighting for the right to adopt freely is ultimately what it's going to take. Within Pennsylvania, gay and straight parents can jointly adopt children, whereas single parents, regardless of their sexual orientation, are unable to adopt. Pennsylvania is one of the least restrictive states with regards to who may adopt children. As long as there are qualified and loving parents, you can freely go through with the adoption process. The adoptive parents become fully responsible of the child and share all the same legal rights as the biological parents would. We live in a very accepting society. However, there are a few individuals, groups, and religious organizations that are still homophobic in their beliefs. They make claims such as gay parents raise gay kids or gay parents are child molesters, which have been proven completely false. For example, both Lily and I have been raised by two straight parents, yet we are both a part of the LGBTQ community. As said in our interview with Ms. Trimble, these accusations are totally false. There are plenty of straight parents who raise gay kids. Whether or not gay couples make better parents than heterosexual couples, 95% of reported child molestations are committed by a heterosexual parent. 98% of child rapes are also committed by one of the heterosexual parents, and 30% of heterosexual marriages contain domestic violence. Also within the state of Pennsylvania alone, 1 in 3 women who are murdered, they are killed by their own husbands. And now I'm going to pass it off to Carmen Thomas.
Hi, my name is Carmen Elizabeth Thomas. I am 16 years old and I am straight. Groups that actually support gay adoption includes ACLU, HRC, PFLAG, Adoptive Family Circle, and many more. The ACLU believes that sexual orientation and gender identity should not affect a person's legal ability to be a parent. They are fully supported in this belief by reputable child welfare experts and social scientists who study LGBT parenting. Therefore, ACLU advocates for LGBT people to have opportunities to build the kinds of families that they feel are most meaningful to them. They also believe that LGBT people should have the freedom to build kinds of personal inmate relationships most meaningful to them without risking that their families will be disregarded or harmed by the state. PFLAG supports the right of straight, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer individuals and couples to be parents, regardless of their marital status, through biological relationships and adoptive or foster relationships. PFLAG supports ensuring that LGBTQ families receive fair and equal consideration without discrimination when or whether considering or choosing birth, adoption, or foster care settings. As the largest nation LGBT civil rights organization, HCR envisions an America where LGBT people are ensured of their basic equal rights and can be open, honest, and safe at home and work. HRC works to secure legal equality, fairness, and respect for LGBT couples and their children. The Adoptive Families Circle is one of the best groups for both people who are looking to adopt and those who've already bought their adopted child home. This is because it's actually a group of individual groups that have only 2 things in common: adoption and the goal of helping adoptive families flourish. People can find groups of transracial families, parents who are still waiting to adopt, and families with other parents. Families Adopting in Response, also known as FAIR, is one of the most active adoption support groups in the whole of the U.S. The organization is run exclusively by volunteers, but it still manages to provide adoptive parents with help regarding both transcultural and transracial adoption. They offer not only valuable information and much needed support, but education and the opportunity to connect with other adoptive families as well. Now introducing my partner, Lily Evans.
Hi, I'm Liliana Evans. I am 16 years old and I came out as bisexual in 8th grade. Kids of gay parents speak out on a film from Team Angelica and Stonewall and talk about their lives at home, describing how living with same-sex parents isn't awkward at all for them. They live normal lives like any other person, given safety, shelter, a family, and maybe even a couple dogs or cats. One big lesson for everyone to know is that when it comes to parenting children and there is uncertainty about when you can be in their lives, you have to put aside your own desires and do what is best for the kids. Gay or not, no matter what your sexual orientation or your gender is, as long as you have the capacity to love and care for a child, then there shouldn't be any problem. At the end of the day, we are all human, and in 2019, we should all work to love one another, show respect, and promote acceptance for all of the people around the world.
Thank you for listening to their presentation. Not my presentation, their presentation. And remember, it's okay to be gay and then adopt kids. It's great. Go do it. If you want to. It's your choice.
Dang it! I didn't fall.
Just having a float.
Gay! You're just like your father.
For the light. Children raised in same-sex households may have a better ability to overcome huge obstacles and stand firm in the face of adversity, and make decisions based on emotions and love rather than firm facts.